Here goes nothing.
Hey, welcome back to ScreenCrush. I'm Colton Ogbrn, and this is everything you need to know before watching Ironheart. And we are going to discuss how this final chapter to Phase 5 of the MCU is perfectly setting up the final phase and the arrival of Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. So in order to prepare for this show, we need to go all the way back to the very beginning of the MCU. In 2008, MIT alum and super genius son of inventor Howard Stark, Tony Stark, shuts down his weapons manufacturing, much to the chagrin of his dad's old business partner, Obadiah Stane.
Oh, that went well.
Tony does this because he realizes that his weapons were causing more harm than good, coming to this realization after he embarked on a bit of a spirit journey during his time held captive in an Afghanistan cave. After spending a long time having been held captive in this cave, he emerges having invented a new piece of tech that would go on to be the first version of Iron Man.
With a box of scraps!
And hey, speaking of, we've got some great Marvel-inspired parody merch up on our merch store right now at ScreenCrushMerch.com. We've got Iron Man granting life to Ultron, the I Hate You 3000, The Thing and John Carpenter's The Thing poster, and many more. Shopping our merch store is the best way to support the channel, and you can also check us out on all major podcasting platforms. So anyway, following Tony's pivot from weapons manufacturer to beloved Avenger and his sacrifice to save the universe, his innovative career as a tech mogul and hero inspires many young inventors who want to help the world. Kid geniuses like Peter Parker's Spider-Man and Riri Williams' Ironheart, who is attending MIT. Now, before his death, Tony donates part of his fortune to fully funding the projects of MIT students.
All of your projects have just been approved and funded.
And that's where we meet this guy.
Will any portion of that grant be made available to faculty? I know, ooh, gross, but hear me out.
He will also be returning in this show. Now, despite Tony being dead, it is heavily implied that his wife Pepper Potts, president of Stark Industries, is continuing the company's charitable donations, including funding projects at MIT. Now, Riri, an admirer of Tony Stark, has developed her own rough recreation of the Iron Man suit. She also developed a highly sought-after machine that is able to track vibranium.
I'm here about the vibranium detector that you built for the CIA.
Nah, I ain't built no detector for no CIA. I made that for my metallurgy class.
Remember, vibranium is that super rare and sought-after metal that originated in Wakanda, and up until Captain America Brave New World and the introduction of adamantium, vibranium was considered the strongest metal on Earth. Now, Riri, having invented this machine that can track vibranium, has put a target on her back, as the US government has apprehended her invention and used it to locate vibranium around the world, and resulting in them finding the hidden underwater city of Talokan. This is an underwater sanctuary similar to that of Atlantis, and its leader, Namor, is not happy that this device has been created and has been used to find his kingdom, which is also rich with vibranium.
The American military detected vibranium under my nation's domain.
Like vibranium brought rise to Wakanda's advanced tech and the heart-shaped herb that gives a Black Panther their power, vibranium is also responsible for the creation of the underwater beings of Talokan. So Namor, he embarks on a mission to destroy the scientists responsible for this device. So over in Wakanda, we see Shuri, Okoye, Queen Ramonda, and the entire country of Wakanda reeling from the loss of their king and their Black Panther, T'Challa. Before succumbing to his fatal illness, T'Challa had embarked on an international mission to help the rest of the world by sharing their advanced resources, which were powered by their rich reserve of vibranium. Now, Namor is not happy with T'Challa's decision to share vibranium with the world, claiming that it has put Talokan in danger because it has made the surface world aware of their existence. Namor asks that Wakanda join him in his quest to eliminate the scientist responsible.
I think Wakanda could find the scientists and bring them to me. It is only fair that Wakanda helps to resolve our dilemma.
So Shuri and Okoye travel to the States to get Riri before the Talokan can.
We can't give her to Namor.
Bring this student back to Wakanda.
Riri is reluctant at first.
I'm warning you, do not take another step toward me.
See how they teach the children to treat their guests.
And guys, I don't know about you, but I'd be a little on edge if I found myself in the middle of these two powerful nations in the world and finding out that I was wanted dead by a mutant fish man with winged feet. I would be a nervous wreck and super anxious. When I get anxious, I am horrible about biting my lips. And that's a bad habit that I didn't think I'd ever be able to quit. And I was right. So instead, I replaced my bad oral fixation habit with Fume. They are the sponsor of this video. And look, I'm sure you guys have your own bad habits that you'd like to quit, especially in social situations when you feel anxious or just bored. For me, Fume has been a game changer. Fume doesn't use smoke or vapor, it's just natural flavored air that gives you something to reach for without the chemicals. Studies have shown that quitting a habit cold turkey is actually really bad for you, so I liked having something that I could reach for when I feel the urge, and it's an alternative to other harmful habits. This is an award-winning flavored air device that doesn't use combustion, and it's not even electronic. You can use it anywhere. There's no smoke, no vapor, no chemicals, just natural flavored air. You see, they just have these plant-based cores that taste great, and they just introduced mango, my new favorite flavor. It's honestly bolder than past flavors that I've tried, and I recommend it if you want to switch things up. And remember, these are non-toxic flavors, and they are a guilt-free alternative with natural ingredients. And I have to say, I love the magnetic, fidget-friendly design that makes this incredibly satisfying sound. Guys, more than 500,000 people have already added Fume to their daily routine, and I totally get why. It is simple, satisfying, and it doesn't come with any downsides of your old bad habits. And right now, if you order the Journey Pack using my code ScreenCrush, you will get a free Fume topper. It's this great rubber piece on the end so you can chew the end, and it's great for oral fixation anxiety. So if you have been thinking about changing your habits, this is the perfect step. Go to tryfume.com/ScreenCrush or scan the QR code on screen to grab yours today. Now, back to the recap. So after Riri is convinced to go with Shuri and Okoye back to Wakanda, the Talokans arrive, and we see Shuri, Okoye, and Riri, using her prototype Iron Man inspired suit, battle the Talokans. They put up a decent fight, but they are defeated, and then we see Shuri convince them to take her and Riri to Namor in Talokan so that she can speak to him, princess to king.
I'm Shuri, Princess of Wakanda. I demand that you take me to Namor. Do not bring harm to this girl.
Nakia, fierce warrior for Wakanda and former lover of T'Challa, and as we will later learn, the mother to T'Challa Jr., she travels to Talokan and rescues Shuri and Riri.
We have to go. Shuri, I don't know who this lady is, but we need to listen to her.
So Shuri has declined Namor's request for Wakanda to join Talokan in waging war against the surface world. And in response, Namor attacks Wakanda. In the process, Riri almost drowns, but Queen Ramonda saves her, but is unable to save herself.
You are queen now.
The queen drowns, saving Riri, and this pushes Riri to do anything she can to help Shuri and Wakanda in their fight against the Talokan. Riri assists in the process of recreating an artificial version of the now extinct heart-shaped herb, also that they can give Shuri the power of the Black Panther. We also see Riri build a brand new Iron Man inspired suit in that Wakandan lab, and she takes it into battle against Namor and the Talokan, and it is also Riri that deduces that keeping Namor away from the water is the only way to defeat him.
He's breathing air and getting oxygen from the water on his skin. If we could find a way to dry his ass out, he won't be as strong.
Now come the end of the battle and Namor's defeat, Riri is sent back to the States without her new suit.
Your suit, it's a great design, but can't let you leave with it.
And that is where we pick up in the Ironheart series, where Riri will now come face to face with the temptations of dark magic. So science and magic in the MCU have always had their distinct corners, but as Thor mentioned all the way back in his first film, they are connected.
Your ancestors called it magic, and you call it science.
And we will see this connection explored in Ironheart.
This.
Because I have to.
Now, while Riri comes from the science corner of the MCU, she will be encountering in this series a man by the name of Parker Robbins, aka The Hood.
So you in or out?
In the comics, Parker Robbins was a low-level street criminal, and during a robbery gone wrong, he comes into possession of a magic demonic cloak, and it is later revealed that this demon was Dormammu, who you might remember from Doctor Strange.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
But in this series, it has been widely speculated and reported that the demon will instead be Mephisto.
Not the beast! Not the beast!
The multiverse saga has taken a big leap into the magic realm of the MCU with WandaVision, Multiverse of Madness, and Agatha All Along, a show that actually gave us our first official name drop of Mephisto.
Or an agent of Mephisto.
Now, in the comics, Mephisto is basically the devil, and he's notorious for manipulating people and granting them power in exchange for a piece of themselves. Such as in the comics when he gave Spider-Man his Aunt May back, but he took away Peter's marriage to MJ. Now, in the trailers for Ironheart, we have seen that Riri will be merging the worlds of science and magic. We even saw these familiar circular ruins reminiscent of Wanda's spells, and of course these iconic shields of Doctor Strange and other sorcerers. So it is going to be interesting to see how Riri brings together magic and science, especially in a saga that has done quite a bit of that with shows like Loki, merging theoretical physics and multiverse theory with magic. And this will likely be a nice foreshadowing for the merger of science and magic that we will see exhibited by Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. Dr. Doom in the comics is a very gifted sorcerer, and with RDJ's version of Doom having a confirmed connection to Tony Stark, we can assume that that science and magic crossover will be front and center come Avengers Doomsday and Riri Williams' introduction of combining Iron Man tech and sorcery, as well as her being a Tony Stark fangirl, and she could find herself right in the middle of the chaos come Avengers Doomsday. I think Riri will be in a similar boat to characters like Peter Parker, who looked up to Tony and who are now being faced with the return of their idol in the form of Doctor Doom. So hey, that is everything you need to know before watching Ironheart. Let me know, are you guys excited for this show? And do you think with it being the final project of Phase 5 and with it having such a heavy connection to Tony Stark, could this be like a really good setup for Phase 6, the end of the multiverse saga, and Doctor Doom? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Colton Ogbrn.